Let me in. I don't want to party with them anymore either, Giselle says from the other side of the door. Champion sighed. You didn't think that was gonna happen. I chuckle. I can hope. He chuckles and moves off me to open the door. Giselle smiles and walks in. I was interrupted. You knew you fucking were before you came upstairs, Captain Hater. Champion replies. Nah, I'm sorry, but they downstairs doing old people shit. Yoke went to her friend's house down the block. So go home, Champion says in a playful banter. She sticks her tongue out and plops on the bed. Stay on top of the cover. I know. Street clothes. Giselle continues. So, how long y'all been together? She asks while crossing her legs and smiles. Get out, Giselle. Champion says, sounding annoyed. No, no, I'm sorry. I like this though. I never get to meet anybody. I know girls be on you. Giselle! Okay, I'm sorry. I never met anyone. Well, that crazy girl, but whatever, I like this. She semi mumbles. I chuckle and sit on the beanbag. It's clearly going to be a long rest of the afternoon. Summer, am I bothering you? Giselle asks. I shake my head no. You are, Champion says as he looks at me. She just ain't rude like you. I start to laugh. It's cool. So, your father is Corey. You and Champ gonna run the family business when they done. I never thought about the next steps with anything. I know Champion was being groomed and built to take over, but me? I mean, Champion's mom is a big key in all of this with his father. But I want to sell drugs though. I'm scared of my own shadow. I don't want to go to jail. I got home last night around 11:30 p.m. Champion, Giselle, and I just hung out all night, chatting and talking shit. Champion wasn't too happy at first, but eventually she stopped with her antics and the rest of the night was smooth. I let him know I got in, but we didn't stay on the phone too long. His mother wanted help cleaning up. I wake up around 11 a.m. and the phone is ringing. I slide it off the base without opening my eyes. Hello. I open the gift. Oh? I didn't know what else to reply with. Oh? I mean, I don't know. I'm half asleep, champ. Your pops is outside waiting on me, but thank you. I like my gift. I'll call you later. He hangs up. I felt myself blush a bit. I smile and hang up on my side. The next time I saw Champion was the day before my birthday. He wanted to take me out for my birthday, so he paid for the cab for me to come to his house, and then we were going out together. I wore my hair in a high up ponytail. My curls were wild and crazy, but in a cute way. I had on a big logo Tommy Hilfiger t shirt with a Tommy Hilfiger jean skirt. It was kind of short. I had on white ankle socks with my white Air Max 90s. When the cab pulls up, Champion, as per usual, is on the stoop waiting for me. Either he waited the whole time or he had great timing. Without us planning it, he had on a similar Tommy Hilfiger t-shirt and dark blue shorts. He had on white socks with white ups. When I step out the cab, he looks me up and down and then smiles. He had his bottoms on and I love it. He hands the driver a $20 bill through the window. We look good together, baby. Right? I smile back. Yo, you could drive us somewhere real quick? I look at Champion in a confused state. I didn't know he was actually taking me out. The driver thinks for a second. Where? He questions with a thick Spanish accent. Empire. In Brooklyn. Yeah. $40. Yeah, that's cool. Champion opens the door for me to get back in. I hesitate for a moment. What happened? Nothing, I say, and I climb in the back of the car. He slides in and closes the door. He puts his arm around me in the cab and looks out the window. I snuggle under his arm. I wanted to ask where we were going, but from the name, it sounds like we're going skating. I gotta admit, I'm a little shocked. I didn't expect this, and he didn't do the usual movie situation. You wanna know where we're going? I mean, I could tell by the name, but I'm with you. I'm good. He smirks at me and pulls me closer. The cab pulls up in about 35 minutes, maybe. We were in Crown Heights, that's the section of Brooklyn the rink was located in. We step out of the cab and step in front. The brick wall is painted yellow, and the sign is blue with white lettering. Empire Roller Skating hanging on the outside. It's not a fancy sign, basic font, and mostly washed out navy blue background, but it goes well with the ambiance of the painted brick wall. You could hear the music blaring through the walls. Sounds like a club in the middle of the day. If you fall, I won't laugh, Champion says to me and smirks. If you fall, I will. I tried to keep a straight face, but couldn't, which in return made Champion laugh. You so foul for that? His bottoms gleamed in the sunlight. I just loved the way they looked when he smiled and with his complexion. A group of girls walk in front of us as we're walking toward the entrance, and one girl almost walks into a man walking toward the group staring at Champion. He pretends not to see and grabs my hand to interlock our fingers. Her friends commented on her not paying attention because she was too busy in Champion's face as they continue on. There was a bouncer at the door. He is a really deep chocolate complexion, was about 6'5" and 350 pounds. Black shirt on, black pants, and black shades with a black baseball cap pulled very low down. He stood behind the girl at the door taking money. She looked like today was not a day she wanted to be at work. Her hair was a bit all over the place and her shirt was wrinkled. It kinda looks like she got dressed in a rush to make it there. I'm making up scenarios in my head, clearly, but that's how she looked. Overall, she was a pretty girl sitting down. She looked kinda tall based on her limbs and she had a nice milk chocolate complexion. She has no blemishes on her face and she literally has a perfect oval shaped eyes. There was a small turnstile behind her we need to push through once given our wristband. Just you two, she says as we approach. Yeah, Champion says as he digs in his pocket. $25, no re-entry once you leave, she says in a dry, annoyed tone. Champion doesn't say anything and hands her $40. She checks the bill against the sunlight for authenticity and hands him back his change. She places a bright purple wristband on our wrist one by one and we go through the turnstile. The music gets louder with every step we take. Aaliyah's Are You Somebody is currently playing. I start singing lowly as we walk through. The daylight from the street is starting to fade as we walk more into the rink. We go to the counter and get our skate. What size you need? Is it size boys or girls? I reply. What size you need for both? A 4 in boys, like 5.5, 6 for girls. Small foot. He smirks at me. He steps up to the counter when it's our turn and gets my skates and his. We had to turn over our shoes to them, similar to a bowling alley. We walk over to the benches closer to the rink, just in our socks, and it gets darker the closer we get. They have strobe lights shining colors all over the place. The rink is a light colored wood with black poles around the rink for you to hold on to it. This made me think back to when Kiana and I were around 10 years old and we went ice skating. Kiana was nervous before we hit the ice. What if I fall and I lose a finger? I hear her asking me in my head. I start to chuckle a bit to myself. Y'all know Kiana ended up falling, right? It's what she does. And she was so embarrassed, she just laid on the ice with her arms and legs spread as if she was making a snow angel. I shouted, What about your fingers? She tucked them in by making a fist, which makes me laugh for real when I think back to that memory. Champion looks at me like, Tell me the joke too. So I explain the story to him. He starts to chuckle. He never met Kiana for real besides the McDonald's situation and seeing her in the random times he saw me, but he's heard enough to know her. We step into the rink and we start to skate slowly. After a few minutes, the skating begins to feel more comfortable and natural, so our speed picks up. Champion was actually a really good skater, and I never guessed he wanted to come here, even if it was for me. As we are skating, the DJ tells everyone he's about to slow things down, and everyone slows down. They're skating. Champion grabs my hand and brings me closer to him. He holds me by my waist, and we lean on the side to take a break. The DJ blends the song into Cupid by 112. I felt all the butterflies in my stomach start to flutter. Why would they play this song? Champion leans in on the bar and brings me to stand in front of him and he cuddles me. I hear him singing the song. Not necessarily to me, but he was singing. Some couples are skating together, but they look like they practice to be able to do that. After a few more slow songs, the DJ speeds things back up and everyone starts to skate again. We stayed for about another hour and then we were both kind of tired. I stopped and leaned on the railing. Champion stops also and stands in front of me and kisses me on the lips. I wasn't expecting that, so I almost didn't kiss him back. You don't want me to kiss you in public, he says in a joking tone. No, I wasn't expecting it. I pull him closer to me and he kisses me again. We both start smiling at each other. You ready to go? Yeah, if you are. My legs are tired, I say. Let's go, baby. We start to skate toward the exit of the rink. He lets me exit the ring before him and holds my arm so I don't fall. We sit on the bench and start taking off our skates. He takes both of our skates and walks back to the desk to collect our shoes. Yo, y'all could call a cab? The girl puts our sneakers on the counter and nods her head. Where to? South Jamaica, Queens. She pauses for a second like she's thinking and picks up the phone. She doesn't speak loudly into the phone and hangs up quickly. 10 minutes out front, white Taurus. Alright, Champion says. We both take our shoes and lean on the desk on the side to put them on. We both tie our laces and walk toward the front door to wait outside. The closer we get to the front door, I start to squint. It was still so bright and sunny outside. I lean on the car with my back pressing on the passenger side. Champion straddles in front of me and I look up. He looks straight over me, but I see him starting to smirk. He looks down at me and kisses my nose. You had fun. I nod my head and then lay my head on his chest. He wraps his arms around my back. A few minutes later, I feel him let go and I realize the cab pulled up. Come on, baby. He lets me walk in front of him toward the cab. I see him checking his surroundings. I know he can't ever really let his guard down, especially trying to come up under my dad. Well, his parents. We get into the cab and the driver turns around to look at us. Where to? South Jamaica. Give me half the money now, the driver says in a stern tone. He's dark-skinned and has a thick Jamaican accent, long locks hanging down his back, kind of chubby like a football player. Didn't have the best skin, but it's not the worst either. What? Champion says aggressively, and I see him clench his jaw. No beef, youngin'. I don't want to get jerked out my money is all. Champion sits for a few seconds, reaches his hand in his pocket, and hands him $40. Ain't no bum shit here, fam. Champion says, then gives the driver the address. Respect, the driver says and turns around. We pull up around 45 to 50 minutes later. There was a bit of traffic. There's a ton of people outside on his block, and there was a lot of music coming from one backyard with some balloons tied to the fence. Champion looks like he is looking for someone, then proceeds to walk up the stairs to his house. I follow suit behind him. He takes his keys out his front pocket and unlocks the door. As he pushes the door open, there wasn't a sound of anyone being home. I walk in behind him and he closes the door, then locks it. We walk upstairs to his room and I stand off to the side. You acting like it's your first time here. I start to chuckle. No street clothes on your bed. I roll my eyes playfully. Sit on top of the cover, baby. It's cool. I smile. Champion really has no idea how much I like him. I don't show my emotions much. I'm sure y'all gathered that by now. Champion walks out of the room but comes back within a few seconds. You want Chinese food? Yes. What you want? Chicken wings and fries with ketchup and barbecue sauce? Alright. He walks towards his nightstand and picks up the cordless phone from the base, turns the phone on and starts dialing. He starts speaking almost instantly. Let me get 2 orders of chicken wings and fries with barbecue sauce and ketchup. Put some hot sauce on the side and let me get 2 Sprites too. He pauses for a second while he's listening to the person on the other end speak. Yeah, how much? Alright. He hangs up. You want to walk with me or stay here? I'm kind of shocked he'd leave me in his house. Not that I would go snooping around, but it shows he trusts me a lot. I'll walk with you. Alright, come on. We make our way back down the stairs and out the door. We get outside to his stoop and he keeps looking around the block like he's looking for someone. I look at him, but I don't say anything. I'm not looking for another girl. This nigga owes me money. I start to chuckle. I didn't say anything. I feel you behind me. He laughs. I laugh harder. Just at that moment, there was a caramel colored young kid who looks about our age walking down the block, and he paused a bit when he saw Champion out front. Nah, don't stop walking, nigga. Keep coming, Champion says with an aggressive tone. I knew he was serious. I see the kid take a deep breath, and Champion floats his arms across his chest. Where my money? I got half. I'm working on the other half, he says nervously. The fuck is working on? You were supposed to have everything done 3 days ago. You think I'm pussy or some shit? No, I know I was. It's other niggas out here too. So, it's always other niggas. Have my money sooner than later. Move that shit. Alright, champ. I told you this wasn't for you, but you want to keep crying it is. Now get my money or you're not gonna like the outcome. You got till next Friday. No more fucking extensions. The kid takes a deep breath and starts walking back in the opposite direction. Come on, baby, Champion says to me. His tone is still semi aggressive. I can tell he was aggravated by the conversation. We start to walk down the block and he grabs my hand to interlock our fingers. There's a bunch of people outside due to the weather and the party going on. Hi, Champion, a group of girls that look around our age say almost in unison from the stoop of one of the houses as we walk by. What's good, y'all? He replies. He doesn't slow down our pace or let go of my hand. The Chinese spot was at the end of the block, so we didn't have far to go. He lets my hand go to open the door as we walk inside. I step to the side and he walks to the counter to get our food. He sticks his hand in his pocket and pays for the food. Baby, you want an egg roll? Shrimp roll. Badass. He smiles at me in a cute way, and his bottoms are just shining. We wait a few minutes for the shrimp roll and we start walking back toward his house. The same caramel kid is now in front of the house with the girls. When he sees Champion, he tries to change his stance, I guess to be more tough. It was clear Champion is in control of their situation. When we get back to his house, he leads us to the kitchen so we can eat. We sit at the high top table they have in their kitchen. When we finished eating, we went back upstairs to his room. You want to watch Rush Hour? Yep, I plop on top of his covers. He ejects the tape in the VCR and puts in Rush Hour. It was already at the end, so he presses stop and has to rewind the tape. He stands there until the movie rewinds and then he presses play. Oh, before I forget, he takes a box out of his dresser that holds his TV. He walks back over to the bed, plops down next to me, and hands me a box. What's this? Open it. I hesitate for a second. I didn't expect any of this. I open the box and there's a bracelet on it. I pick it up and I see a C engraved on it. This is so nice. Thank you. I hand it to him and stick my wrist out. He smiles as he latches the bracelet on me. You're welcome, baby. But check the box again. Again? I lift the cushion and the bracelet was sitting on and I see the other half of the necklace I gave him last week. I pick it up and I see my half has a C on it engraved. Before I could say anything else, he takes his half out his shirt. He had it tucked in. Mine has an S. I felt myself blush, but I started smiling. I was hoping you didn't think it was too girly. My girl gave it to me, even if she won't admit she's my girl. I start to chuckle. We sit back on the bed to watch the movie. I peek over at him. I didn't think he saw me, but I see you. Why you watching me? He says in a playful tone. Why you ain't kissing on me? Why you ain't kissing on me? He mocks. I fake pout. You come kiss on me, he says and pulls my arm toward him. At that moment, I got extremely nervous. I don't know why. I did want to kiss him, but I know no one is home. And that can lead to something else. That makes me nervous. Before I could focus on the nerves, he leaned in to kiss me. We were lying kind of sideways, him on one side and me on the other side, which isn't really comfortable. After about a minute, my arm started to hurt. I tried to reposition myself, but Champion pulled me on top of him, straddling him. Now, mind you, I told y'all I had on a skirt. I had on panties, but still. As we are kissing, I feel his dick starting to get hard. I'm getting nervous again, but I don't stop him. He starts to kiss me on my neck, and he was just making everything flow so smoothly. He takes my hand and places it on his dick. I feel it up first. I gotta give a good report to Kiana and Tony. Well, maybe Tony. I feel him starting to adjust himself because the harder he gets, the harder it is to be in his shorts. He uses one hand to unbutton his shorts and places my hand directly on his dick. I don't know if he could feel my heart racing, but shit. Long story short, we ended up having sex. I hope I didn't make a messy situation even messier. Even though it's not really messy, but it is.